Hey, what's going on, everybody? Steve here, Rake and Profit. And in this video, I want to share 5 tips for when to consider pretty much spending more money in your Amazon business. When do you know it's time to spend more money? Because we all know if you want to make more money on Amazon, you have to spend more money on inventory, right? In order to scale your business, you have to scale your inventory. But I had received a question recently and someone was asking, well, when do I know is the right time to, expand, to spend more money? What are the things that I should look at? What are the things that you consider, Steve? And that's what I'll be talking about in today's video. So excuse my appearance. I just got out of the gym. I started 75 Day Hard. I actually have a group where I'm sharing my journey, posting pictures. Don't go in there if you don't want to see a big fat blob though, but I'll put a link to that down below. But I received this question. All right, let's just get right into it. What are the 5 things that you look for, Steve? And this was in terms of, I coach people and help a lot of people with flipping from eBay to Amazon. That's how I've gotten my business to over 50,000 a month, even though it's dropped quite a bit since Q4 has kind of, slowed down a little bit. Obviously, we're in the new year. But the first thing to consider, okay, is you have to understand what is your business model, okay? And there's a couple roads that I could go down, okay? So the first thing I want to consider is like, are you trying to grow to 5,000 a month, 10,000 a month? Are you trying to grow to 50,000, 100,000 a month? Like, what do you want to do? I guess business model is not the best word, but what's your goal, right? Because if you have a goal to, let's just say, get to $50,000 within, the next year or so, and you want to be profitable and you want to be able to pay yourself, you're going to have to invest a lot more money back into the business, right? And you're going to have to, start off by investing quite a bit more in the beginning to hit that goal. Whereas if you only have a goal to maybe get to, I don't know, 3,000 a month and you want to make an extra $700 to $1,200 profit at the end of the day and you want to pay yourself $1,000 a month, that's a completely different story. But what's your goal at the end of the day, okay? And to go a step further, what is your mindset around building a business? Do you want to build a business by going into debt, or are you more, along the lines of Dave Ramsey, where you don't want to go into debt and you want to, even though I'm not like a gigantic Dave Ramsey fan, I am a fan of him, but when I built my business, I didn't want to go into debt. Over the last 14, 15 months, however long I've been doing the eBay to Amazon method, which got me to about 58,000, which now it's below 50 because things slowed down a bit. But what got me there was actually not going into debt. I could have easily just pumped 40 grand into inventory the first month and went into a bunch of debt. And then it would have taken me, I don't know, 5-6 months to earn all that back and then to build upon that. I didn't want to. I didn't want to build my business in debt. So what I did is I just started slow with a couple hundred bucks that I put into my business. And as I made a profit, I took the profits and slowly built up my business. I didn't build my business going into debt at all. I could have gotten up to, 150,000 a month within the time frame that I built my business to 58K if I would have just sank a bunch of cash into the business and then just scaled, but then I wouldn't have had any cash flow. I would have been in debt, and then there was a lot more liability if my account got suspended or banned or something like that. So what's your mindset around it? For me, I didn't want to go into debt. And I was willing to not take any cash flow out of the business and just reinvest it into the business. So then eventually when I hit around 12 months, it was actually like 10 months or so, I started paying myself a bit of money. And now my cash flow is getting bigger and bigger and bigger as my sales are going up, my profit's going up, and I don't have to use all the profit to buy inventory. So I know that's a lot to digest, but I can't fully answer the question, when should you start spending more money, until you kind of think about a couple of those things, okay? Now, in terms of actual metrics that you want to look at when you should start spending more money, is how's your turnover rate? And again, I can't give you specific numbers. I can only share examples of when my business wasn't doing so well and when it improved, and then I decided to really scale up spend. My turnover rate, coming from like the book selling world and just the traditional, I guess just books and thrifted items and stuff, it was around like 20 to 25% per month. And I maintained that when I got into the eBay to Amazon flipping. But what I realized is I started to hit severe cash flow issues. So I said to myself, when I'm sourcing these items off of eBay to flip on Amazon, I need to be more specific with the criteria that I pick up. The rank, how many sales per month, how many sales over the last 6 months, how many sellers are on the listing. Long story short, I really tightened up my criteria and I improved my sell-through rate, which went from around 20 to 25% up to close to 50%. Now it's around 40 to 50. It's dropped a little as I've scaled because I've had to loosen up my criteria a little bit. But if your turnover rate is around 20, 25% with an eBay to Amazon model or online arbitrage, having to spend so much money on product, you're gonna suffer with cash flow, which means you're not gonna pay yourself. You might be making a bunch of sales, but you're gonna either be in debt or not paying yourself. And again, for some people that may be more or less important, depending on your goals long-term, as I mentioned. But for me, I didn't wanna grow my business in debt. I wanted to be able to grow my business, take my profits, put them in the business and keep scaling. So in order for me to do that, I had to increase my turnover rate. So I became very, very specific and very, very anal, is that the word? Became very anal about what I was willing to pick. I don't know why I went there. It's an early morning, but I got very, very picky about the items I was picking up, and I wasn't going to just pick up a DVD that was going to make me 180% ROI, but only sold once a month, and I might have to wait 4 or 5 months. I wanted items that were going to turn quickly for a 30, 40, 50, 60, 70% ROI, which were going to turn in 30 to 45 days or less. So you have to take a look at your business model, and you have to make sure you have your KPIs in line to understand what's your sell-through rate, what's your cash flow right now. Another thing, I'm just kind of spewing things off on my fancy list that I have right here. Are you making a profit or are you losing money? And I'm talking like on a cash flow basis, like how much is coming in of sales? What's your profit margin? What's your actual profit? What's coming in? How much are you spending? Are you actually cash flowing positive or negative? And does that align with your goals? So in order for you to figure out, should I really ramp up my spend in my eBay to Amazon business or in your OA business or whatever you're doing, maybe it's thrifting or whatever, what are the numbers actually saying? Because numbers don't lie. Numbers will tell you the exact story of what's happening. So if you don't have your numbers in line, you should probably start there and make sure you get yourself QuickBooks or have some type of bookkeeping system set up so you know your numbers. And also, what's your profit margin? Are you tracking how much you're paying, your cost of goods? What are you selling? All your fees? You know, for anyone who's been following me, I track everything, you know, to the T, right down to the last penny. And I post this on my, you know, my Instagram and on YouTube and different things every month. My December number should be coming out soon. I've been super busy, but that'll be coming out soon. But you got to ask yourself, what's my cash flow, right? Do I want to go into debt to grow my business, or do I only want to grow my business with the profits that the business generates? You know, do I want to cash flow now and build slowly? Because if you build slowly and you know, you could pull money out of your business and you could actually pay yourself, but you're going to hit your 50K or 60K in 3 to 5 times as long as it took me if you build slowly. Whereas if you invest all your money back in the business, obviously you're not paying yourself, which is a good reason to have other income streams, but you're going to scale much quicker because you're throwing gasoline on a fire by putting all the money in the business back into inventory to grow. You know, if your turnover rate is good, if your profit margins are good, if you're aligned with your business model, that's how I would think about things when it comes to scaling an Amazon business and spending more money. Because again, if you want to grow your sales, you've got to spend more money, considering that your items have a healthy ROI, a healthy profit margin, and a healthy turnover rate. So for anybody who wants to learn about my business model, how I'm flipping from eBay to Amazon, I actually have a free course that I had created recently. It's a very beginner course because I know a lot of people are coming from the thrift world or, you know, just going to garage sales and auctions. And, you know, I have a lot of systems that I teach and a lot of different methods that I go about sourcing and flipping from eBay to Amazon. But I have a beginner course that'll really just teach you a lot of the basic beginner principles and really just give you a good foundation to learn how to source methods outside of only thrift stores. I put out a post the other day and I was like, on my Instagram, it was a little reel, and I was like, I used to always think if I couldn't source from thrift stores, my business would be dead, because thrift stores kept raising prices, more and more resellers kept going, it was becoming more competitive. You know, some of these thrift stores were selling online, and I'm like, how the heck am I gonna be able to build my business, right? And then I learned about eBay to Amazon flipping and Facebook Marketplace and a bunch of different online arbitrage methods. But my main method is eBay to Amazon flips right now. And I've helped literally hundreds of people to do this. So it's crazy. It's an amazing opportunity. So definitely check out that free course. I'll put a link down below. But with that being said, I appreciate you all. And hopefully this helped. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you got from this video. And much love.